Ladies and gentlemen, please stay in your seats. We have one more feature for tonight's stream. We now present to you the top-rated Doors review on Better Discovery. Floor 1 was fine enough, raised the standards for horror experiences on Roblox, but then pressure raised it further, and Elsplash dropped the ball with Floor 2. The whole new array of enemies do not blend well with the haphazard inclusion of the old ones. I'm gonna stop it right there. It's a little bit insulting to say haphazard inclusion when almost every single thing that's returning from Floor 1 was modified in Floor 2. Like, except for, like, Timothy, and I can't speak for Ambush because I never got him. But, anyways. Screech can now spawn in every room, regardless of light level. Why even bother having dark rooms if Screech spawns everywhere now? I don't know if you know this, but dark rooms, they sort of bring this new challenge to the table by, being dark and hard to navigate in. I just wanted to answer your question there. Figure has short, one-door sections where you have to avoid him, which is fine. He had his time in the spotlight, whatever. But now his AI is so hair-trigger that he rampages around as though he heard something on the opposite ends of the room, leading to annoying deaths. I kind of explained this while I was playing. As long as you're crouching, you're fine. I don't think he can even detect you at all anymore if you're crouching. But he can react to you opening containers. But it's so easy to react to that as well once you notice that, like, oh, what the heck? He changed his stomping for a moment. I should probably get out of here. He probably just reacted to something I did. You know, like, basic understanding of what was going on. The new Gloombats are akin to Squiddies. I'm assuming that's a thing from, Pressure. Don't shine lights around them, fine, but they are so oppressive. They actively seek out lights instead to destroy them. Especially in combination with Screech, it's annoying to deal with. So you're saying that they're oppressive, but why? I mean, they won't attack you as long as you don't shine your lights. Are you saying that there's something difficult about being in a dark room? Like, are you saying that there's a reason for dark rooms to be around? Anyways, there's also the Gloombat eggs. You don't want to step on, which is fine, I guess. There's two variants. One that doesn't release Gloombats, and one that does. The ones that do glow, which is nice, but it's bleh. He didn't have anything bad to say about them, so he just went bleh. Did you like the Seek Chase in Door 34? Did you dislike it, and at least tolerate the fact that it was short? Well, either way, you will probably hate the new Seek Chase. This is awesome! Given its obnoxious length and even quicker reaction tests with a minecart chase. I said this when I was playing. I don't think that the new Seek Chase is any harder than the Floor 1 Seek Chase. They are the exact same quick reaction test. And I think the same about the like very end one as well. Like at like door 195. They're all equal difficulty. It's just that you're not used to them, so it seems like they aren't. And yeah, it's silly. The new Giggle enemy is entirely spliced from Lethal Company's Snare Flea. Jumps down from the ceiling under your face. Teammate has to pull it off your face. Death sentence in solo runs where it forces a loss of half of your HP if you aren't careful. This is just a straight up lie. This is just a lie. It does like 30 damage. It's like nowhere near comparable to the Snare Flea from Lethal Company. That is an insta-kill. So, the little white guys, the giggles, you just have to not walk under them, like around a certain radius, And I think sometimes that's impossible, and I think the devs knew that, and I think they don't care. Because he does so little damage, he's like a joke enemy, like Timothy. So back when I had streamed this, I had no experience with pressure. I hadn't seen or played any of it. And since then I have. And let me just say, making that whole statement about the snare flea and the giggle, being like spliced, that is a bold statement for such a die-hard pressure fan to be making. Eyes now teleports around, which is a fair change to make given pressure's success with the eye fist. Hang on, let me stop. It's a fair change. It's a fair change because he recognizes it from pressure. If it wasn't already done in pressure, that means he doesn't recognize it, and therefore it's unfair. I will carry on. Given pressure's success with infestation dragging your vision, but when you have it teleporting around in a room where you need to put fuses in a generator, while having giggles, gloombats, and in a dark room is completely unfair. I'll give him credit, it's a bit of an interesting combo when you have things that you have to look at on the ceiling, but you also have something that you're not supposed to look at all around the room. But I think that Eyes' new feature with teleporting around the room actually assists with that, because he's not camping one part of the room, so you'll have plenty of time to check the whole room. And he's not going to stop you. It wouldn't have been as bad if you did not need to break open planks by pushing minecarts down slopes while dealing with all of that to find some fuses. Bro hates gameplay. There's also now a guy in the locker. He only shows up sometimes, he shows up all the time, after you leave a locker, kicking you out if you try to re-enter it. This is particularly annoying when dealing with ambush, which, for whatever reason, was included, despite the fact that a new entity has such a glaring clash in design. I'm gonna say this. Ambush was absolutely not the first reason you had to hide in a hiding spot. Therefore, you saw the new enemy before you encountered ambush, and you had time to connect the dots and realize, oh, I can't hide in the same spot twice in a row. I better find 2 hiding spots if I'm going to be dealing with ambush in a moment. But you didn't do that, and you seem to have been annoyed that you died for that reason. I'm blaming that on you. A raising of stakes in a sequel/part 2 is completely fine, but catered to an audience asking for higher difficulties far too much in the standard edition to suit a more casual audience, which is Doors' main market. The music ran out. I'm gonna give them this. Floor 2 is really hard. But I don't think this reviewer even got to door 50, which is where it actually gets hard. So now he's just yapping. It is at this point that our lovely reviewer goes on a bit of a rant, talking about the number of players that were active on the day of release compared to the amount of people that were getting achievements for progressing in floor 2. But there's no real substance to these claims because he really doesn't take into effect all of the variables at play. For example, the 1% of the player base that actually has access to floor 2. Floor 2 is a step down from the level of I judge the update mostly on its own merits, and yet it has no legs to stand on. Floor 2 has put the L in L Splash. Ooh, got him. Yeah, that was a whole lot of game hard, so game bad. And what's funny is they didn't make it to any of the hard parts. They made it to the Seek Chase, which is equal in difficulty, but you have to actually learn how to play it again. That's something I talked about in my review. Like, A, people just expected that it wasn't going to get harder at all, and B, people just expected that all of their understanding of floor one, it'll immediately transfer to floor two, and they can just rush right through it. And then anytime there's a new threat, or a new combination of threats, or a new way that threats function, it's unbalanced, clashy, unfunctional, broken. Yeah, it's not. Why would they make floor one again? Just play floor one if you like floor one. That's what I'm saying. I want someone to make a meme that's like, this is the floor, this is the floor two that the community really wanted, and it's just floor one but with like cobblestone textures. I'm a furry, but it kind of looks like a pop print.